Hey guys, Scrublord here, and welcome to another episode of Scrub Souls. In this episode, we're going to be taking a level 1 character through the Shrine of Amana and trying to make it as easy as possible by going as slow as possible. You'll do well to have a bow and maybe some fire arrows because these things seem weak against fire, and just try to draw everything out one at a time. You don't actually have to stand here waiting for it to come to you. You can kill it with 3 arrows, or 2 if you're higher level. I'm just showing that the level moves pretty slowly when you're attacking things one at a time. Now I've got the attention of this guy here, and you can roll around these guys and try to get back stabs and everything else, but you know what? If you just block them, they've usually got 2 or 3 hits in them, and then you can punish them. You can farm the water creatures for effigies and the archdrakes, I think they're called, for Twinkling Titanite. They don't drop a lot of Twinkies, and I'm not even wearing a gold covetous ring or anything. I'm just trying to get through this level. But if you need effigies, which I probably will at some point, this is a great place to come to. But here, I'm just going to slowly drag all the enemies towards me until I get to that cave. Once you make it out of the cave, you can take out the one mage that's shooting at you with a bow, or just go ahead and run to the bonfire. This is definitely the more difficult part of the area, and they actually took out a bonfire. I believe there used to be a bonfire at a midpoint here, but in the Scholar of the First Sin, that bonfire is no longer there. I ended up taking my first death in this area, drawing this guy in and getting wrecked. He's really not that difficult. I just want to get around the side, but sometimes he'll swing around like that, and well, whatever. I wasn't out much, though. I mean, I'm right there at the bonfire. So I go ahead and get my revenge on this guy and move on. Just circle around him for the most part. He's not really that tough to kill, even with a level 1 character. So the critical part to dealing with these mages is get them in a position where you're able to shoot them, and oftentimes they won't even shoot back, or they'll shoot into an obstacle. Here you see me just keep on pegging away until it's dead. Move on to the next one, and just keep doing this throughout the level, and you should do just fine. There's a lot of side stuff around here that if you pull out a torch, you can make sure that you don't fall, but just beware that you aggro all of the water monsters a lot faster when you do so. So be careful walking around here, and maybe keep some flame butterflies on you. You don't necessarily need this stuff. There's some high-level pyromancies, a miracle, and maybe an Estus Flash Shard if you really want it. At level 1, I don't really need any of that stuff, but I went ahead and got the Estus Flash Shard anyway. Here you're looking at an abundance of caution. Here I make a pretty big mistake, and it costs me a lot of time. You can't aggro one of these guys, and because you're in the water, it's really difficult for at least a level 1 to fight 2 of them at the same time. I have very little stamina. I end up taking a death here, and it sends me all the way back to the beginning, which is pretty frustrating. A better method, it seems, is to go to the end of this walkway or pier and try to aggro them from here. It seems like one of them tends to hang out down below. Maybe that's just how I was positioning myself, and then the other one comes up onto the walkway, so you can take them out one at a time, and it makes it a heck of a lot easier. From here, you just have to take out the 2 mages. One is a healer, and one's the more aggressive mage. So you're almost done. I'm actually kind of salty at this point, though, because I end up falling, trying to get at a chest that I didn't need, and falling while dodging from a water monster that I didn't have to fight. And that set me back a lot. But I managed to make it to the second bonfire, and probably the most difficult area, but also the most optional, is after the second bonfire. As you're coming down the hill from that bonfire, go ahead and try to snipe all the mages that are the farthest away from the healer, because she won't be able to help them. And then there's also one to your left. And as you walk out into the water, you should be able to draw one of these guys towards you. And the second one's maybe a little bit trickier, but you basically got it at this point. The final Archdrake can be lured just by charging at them and then trying to drag him outside of her range. She moves real slowly, so this shouldn't pose too much of a problem. Here you see I've got him in a position where I can just fight him normally, then she will not be able to heal him. And from here you can just wander around, pick up your drops, watch out, there's a few water monsters around, you know, kill the healer obviously, and get ready for the hardest NPC invader in the whole game. So about the time you manage to take out this final water creature, you'll run into Peculiar Kindler, who is a mage and doesn't really do a lot of damage even to a level 1 character, as you can see. It's pretty easy to just hide here, and doesn't move very fast either. So anyways, go ahead and take out this peculiar fellow here and move on to the boss. So I think I took 5 deaths total. That's about what it looks like and what I counted. And 3 of them were close to the bonfire and 2 of them were just plain dumb. But this area, if you take it nice and slow, even with this level 1 character, wasn't too terrible. It wasn't as bad as the Iron Keep, that's for sure. So anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, and check back to see how I'm doing on the rest of my first ever SL1 of Dark Souls 2.